with Conqueror you get a little bit more survivability. But this guy went for phase rush, which I'm guessing he's going to go turbo chem tank and probably try to run the early game down as quickly as possible. And then that's why I'm very confused on this whole Zeri pick, because I feel like if they played like a Xayah Nautilus composition and tried to win the early game, it makes more sense. But Hecarim does notoriously bad when it comes to the late game.
30 seconds until
And but hopefully maybe he's trying to get the whole team fed early game and it just be like an ult that that fears everyone in team fights, and let's hope it works. Let's hope it works out for them. And if I'm right, is this the first Skarner game in this whole tournament?
This is indeed the first. I mean, I believe it's also the first Zyra game. And
that's
I'm not. So that's that's 2 firsts in this tournament so far, right? So interesting picks. We do see good vision coming out from Watchdogs. That ward right there on that red buff. I believe it was spotted by them, but they just know that they're under vision. As you mentioned, Lance, right? It's really useful at the beginning of the game because knowing where the jungle is pathing towards can save you from early ganks, can save you from those wacky ganks that we've seen from different junglers throughout the tournament. So smart warding and vision, very much a big part of
this leash. Look at this leash. Oh, that's the jungler's dream right there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
What's the HP on the blue buff? What's the HP on the blue buff?
It's just over. You just win this game immediately, no? But yeah, as a jungler, if you see every time I have a Zyra in my jungle games, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best time. Like in all honesty, but then yeah, as Kev here, you're gonna you have the ability to go for a really fast early full clear, right? The 6 camps that Hecarim can do that. Sure, like not as strong as before, not as fast as before, but if you definitely go for that 2 levels on
I want to see if Hecarim's doing the wolves thing, because you can drag the wolves into
red.
Oh, I don't think he did it. He's not a one trick.
But then yeah, again, if you have the ability to really do that really fast level 6 camps, sorry, in this early game. But the thing is, what you said, that really changed up the game plan of Kev, which is not like, as you said, with this Hecarim being a phase rush pick, you just kind of want to be the one taking over in the early game. And yeah, if you do that 6 camp rush, this does slow you down for that first step. But look at Skarner already getting around the map immediately.
Yeah, and I also really think that the Hecarim should have been pathing bot, because look at how
looking for flashing to the Vex. Vex how to flash away. Great Skarner to prevent another a disaster there. But flash for flash, Vex isn't going to be sad about that.
What a sphere! What a fear! Actually, what a fear! And
that was beautiful.
Yeah, and now look at Zegion getting the Spire, takes this, and then tries to look at this pressure over the bot lane. That's absolutely insane. Especially it's a Zeri into Zeri Lulu. This Zeri Lulu does not have much agency in the early game, and actually surprisingly here is Kev gets a full 6 camp clear into a 1 Herald. That's huge for early game in the jungler. This does allow you to get like those EXP sooner. Look at that 4-4 already, but has a CES advantage. If you back here, I think you have enough for boots. No, you have enough for lucidity boots here immediately, right? If you have that full, there you go, enough for a full lucidity boot clear here. So just look at this Jhin Zyra. This is gonna be an annoying lane for Zeri Lulu, who wants to be scaling slowly, but is now going to get punished constantly. And yeah, and DisasterMonkey, knowing Kev is around, is just going to be playing aggressive. So what we need to pay attention to is this flashless mid lane. Which jungler will take control of that first?
Yeah, and there was great trading, great pathing, right? But I mean, overall, we can see how dominant this lane is. We've seen Talius on Lux before, and the way that he plays Zyra is very similar, right? Always being able to set up for his team, guaranteeing a lot of free damage. And just look at Lulu and Zeri's HP bars relative to Jhin and Zyra's, right? I mean, even the mana. Obviously, Jhin is a bit low on mana because he's been hitting those Qs, hitting those Ws, but they've just been taking control of this lane, and the 4 CS advantage, but advantage is an advantage.
I mean, as well. I mean, if you look over at the items here, Kunun. I mean, it's a early vamp sept here for Human 100 that does allow them for that. But there you go, the return gank here now. This is a flashless. This is flashless here. If this works, this is going to be huge for Billow and Zegion here because they should know this is there goes
They
that.
have 3 people here. Great fear onto the Skarner, but root coming in from Zyra, and now it looks like this is going to fall. Yes, does get the first blood. Zyra picking up the first blood onto the Vex, and once again, Talius roaming to the mid lane and punishing the mid lane like it's no tomorrow.
Yeah, this is just trademark Stray Wolves here. Early game takeover by just punishing in numbers. It's not necessarily mid, but it's wherever in the map that they can punish. But this time around, it's just a simple understanding that this Vex does not have flash. This Vex is just a free kill for us. And first blood over to the Zyra is going to be huge because that's one of those champions. You said that this team does not have that much sustained DPS. That's going to be on the Zyra, especially if that Zyra builds that Leandries. That Zyra is going to be very, very important in team fights. Those plants, I mean, they're gonna do a lot of damage. Zyra
going in for this Shyvana. Shyvana not yet level, or does have, yeah, just is able to escape like that. A little bit, you know, hyphy of an unsolvable onslaught, but now we see Skarner moving up here. They could look for the Sion is around. They could look for an engage here. He does get level 6 Shyvana now going down with the Dragon's Descent, having to flash away, and that is huge, blowing the flash of the Sion. Hecarim's now around, does have the ghost popped here, is trying to bait out the Shyvana and Skarner to come in. Not spot on vision, but Skarner getting that impale onto the Sion. Sion trying to run away here. Hecarim trying to get some damage. Shyvana, Skarner going back in. Skarner and Sion out fighting this. Knock up onto the Shyvana. Shyvana is getting low here, but so is Sion. They are getting just a lot of traded damage, with so much damage coming out for the Shyvana E, and the Hecarim falls, and now Sion is on the defensive, using that W to pop, trying to get the Shyvana in return, but it's not enough, and Shyvana gets a double kill.
I mean, that just was not really a good fight for this duo over at the top lane, because if you look over at the items in that fight, it was only boots and tier for Hecarim, and no recall yet for DisasterMonkey there. So that was a really interesting fight actually for them to take. Yeah, sure, that Shyvana
used here, it could look for a kill here. 2 shot goes wide, last one, and it lands onto Lulu, but not enough. Curtain call being used to clear the wave, giving them a push. But yes, go back to the top lane fight, lads.
Yeah, I mean, Fishy Lube, bring me in on this Hecarim build. This is going to be the Muramana build, or yes?
So that fight as well, the Hecarim didn't have ulti while Skarner did, which was extremely unfortunate. So I feel like if Hecarim had ulti there, like the fight would have worked out well.
Using unstoppable onslaught straight into Renekton. Renekton popping into Dominus, but gets knocked up here. Is getting taken down, but great call of the week to get some healing, but it's not enough, and a kill going over to the Hecarim.
No, they just
it was all planned.
It was all planned, but they just get a free dragon here because knowing that, okay, the jungler's top side, let's just trade objectives, cross map play here, and then Billow, I mean, Tushak Pack will catch the wave for Billow over the mid lane, so no EXP has gone to waste. And yeah, I mean, in the early game, this is still very much Stray Wolves centered, right? They still have the ability for pick. That is definitely better. Tushak Pack is around here. Kev does have a weak smite. It's still at 450, but again, a smite is a smite and is secured there. And yeah, Tushak Pack has ultimate. No one is going to be responding to this again. They have numbers 4v2, but yeah, it should be a reset for this Sion. But what's going to be interesting here is, will we see that beefy frontline Sion, or will it be that side lane pressure? Which I doubt, because that's a solo queue kind of build.
Oh, Skarner has Impale here, trying to go for Lulu. Lulu manages to escape in time. However, that looks scary.
I'm honestly very surprised that Hecarim went tier here, because usually you only go tier in solo queue in order to build the mirror mana. In competitive, you go turbo chem tank and then full tank afterwards. So what Kev is basically saying here is, I'm going to carry the game. I will gank. I will take control over this map, but I don't know how.
Going in with the Dragon's Ascent, looking to trade onto the Sion here. Sion falling low, but I guess just to clear the wave. That wave was pretty massive.
I mean, no, but look at who's there. It's the jungler.
Does have Impale available. Uses the stun first, getting the Impale onto the Sion, pulling him out of tower range. Sion now trying to turn onto Shyvana, gets the damage, but it's not enough. Another kill in the hands of Shyvana. And that is a 3-0 Shyvana now for Stray Wolves.
Yeah, numbers advantage. It's just numbers advantage all the time. That's how Stray Wolves plays. But yeah, I mean, as what Fishy Lube just did mention, it's the very solo queue centric build here on the Hecarim, which is, I mean, it's still super strong, right? We rarely see it in competitive play. Sure, the Muramana into Chemtech, but it's still a very strong build that you can see in a lot of the times in these in these solo queue games, and I've definitely seen a handful of Hecarims carry with this team comp. So I mean, if you're looking over at the team right now as Watchdogs, you are the engaged team. You still again have that Zeri for that late game DPS insurance, but you really don't want to just fall this far behind of a hole to a 3-0 Shyvana at the top lane. Yes, you're a tank, but look, they're ganking 3-man again.
Skarner once again could look for the stun here. Shyvana is filling up their H bar, could have the Dragon's Descent very soon. Your stun comes through, and Sion going to fall for a 4th time to the Shyvana.
Yeah, and there's just nothing that you can do.
Hecarim looking for something here, trying to look for Zyra. Zyra does not get the root, gets an unstoppable onslaught going in onto Zyra. Zyra getting knocked up by the wild growth. Polymorph coming in as well, and Zyra now falls, but great use of the Strangle Thorns, taking down onto the Lulu. Lulu will fall to the Ignite there, and we have Curtain Call to stop any of this from going in. Will they look to dive this? No, they do not, but that is a 1-for-1 in the bot lane.
I mean, look at Vex. Vex is walking down, but at the same time, so is Renekton. This is not going to be a good looking dive here, is if they can take this execute this cleanly. Look, Dominus pop
is coming in. Yes, they are looking for this. Vex having to flash away here and turning onto the Vex now. Renekton is on the Vex. Vex is getting taken down by the Jhin here. Falls to the Renekton. Skarner continuing to chase after the Hecarim, and the Zeri does not have enough range for that Impale. Try to get it, but it's not enough. As that's happening, Shyvana is quite low here. Does have Dragon's Descent available. Renekton might look for something here.
They need to stop the bleeding right now. They could try to look for a pick here onto Lazerue.
Getting the speed up, trying to get the stun. Stun onto Lulu comes through. Exhaust being used here. Multiple stuns coming through. Will they use the Impale? Not just yet. And the Ignite takes down onto the Lulu. Now Jhin trying to be taken out here. Great use of the Hecarim, but it pushes away the Zyra. It's not enough. Teleport now coming in from the Vex, looking to defend this dive from happening. And yes, the rest of Stray Wolves realize this dive and get away. You know, a little bit of a wide shadow surge there from Vex, but it wards off the dive from happening any further, and that stops the bleeding for Watchdogs.
Yeah, they really do. Oh,
never mind. They could look for this. Dive is still going through. Renekton is now chasing after this. Now going back towards that Impale, pulling him away from the tower. Will he trade a kill over? No, trade doesn't come over, and a kill. Another kill in the hands of this jungler, and this is just so much early game domination from Stray Wolves.
Oh,
now Shyvana looking for this.
Oh my god, that phase rush on the Skarner just lets him live that dive because he's just so fast after he ults someone. Did you see that speed on him after he
actually insane. It looked crazy. I mean, now, meanwhile, you know, Kev is building towards the same item, but Turbo Chem Tank is already completed by Skarner, right? So that's such a huge spike for this next dragon fight in 11 seconds that will be up very soon. Kev is not even at the side of the map where it is, but it seems as if like what they're just doing is they're just securing gold for this Zeri. So yeah, that's just going to be, I guess, their late game insurance again. It's this Lulu Zeri carry, right? Like that polymorph is gonna be huge. It's gonna be very, very important, and Lulu. Oh my god, this is Lulu Zeri carry is just gonna be the main play that you really need to look out for. And again, as Stray Wolves, this is your window. Early mid game, just take over and don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, but look at this, just bleeding out so many resources, bullying them out of their own jungle before this dragon even comes up. And that's the strength of this. There's not even a Spire there. So, just so much early game gold in the hands of Stray Wolves that they can do stuff like this, that they can walk up in your face and be like, hey, I dare you to take this fight against me. Turns out you can't, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard for them right now to survive in this early game. Yes, you have that top laner that's going to be super beefy in the late game, who is 0-3 right now, but look at the Zegion is going in.
Skarner going in, gets that Impale onto the Lulu. Lulu using Wild Growth on herself to try to get some knockups. Not enough damage. Stun comes through, and another kill onto Lulu. Zeri popped her ultimate, however, trying to look for something here. Zyra is around trying to look for the root. Root does not connect, and that is another huge pick for Stray Wolves.
Yeah, this is an absolutely clean game from Stray Wolves right now. This is looking like a quick game if they keep this up. But again, objective bounties are up now. So what what Watchdogs need to do here is play around those objective bounties and try to give these over to Zeri or as a team in general. Gale Force just completed for KAIRU. That Gale 4 is now ready for this Jhin. This Jhin is just going to be an absolute beast and an absolute monster that can lock down an extra champion. Like that's the thing about Stray Wolves here. Just think about it. So if Jhin W lands on someone, Billow can just straight up W2 with that stun, especially if it's empowered, that 3 auto attacks to the stun, and then Zegion can follow up. So there's so much pick potential in this Stray Wolf squad to punish this mid to early game. But again, once this does get to the late game, there's not much damage coming through, right? Not a lot of sustained DPS other than Talius on that Leandri's Karma, right? But again, if it doesn't... Zyra, sorry. But if this doesn't get to that late game, right?
Oh, it's gonna get picked off here. The stun comes through from the heck. Oh, that movement speed, pulling him back with the impale, flashing over, but the stun comes through. Another stun coming through from the Skarner, continuing this onslaught onto Zeri. Zeri manages to get away for just a second here, but Lulu getting taken down by the Skarner, having to flash away, but Skarner going through as well. Zeri is going to get away here, but Lulu is going to fall. Hecarim trying to peel for a little bit longer, but it's not enough. Shyvana, just willing down and taking the kill. Oh, but as that happens, Zeri did not manage to escape, gets taken out by Renekton. This chase will continue. Shyvana trying to get some E damage, but it's not enough. Hecarim a bit too tanky, but that is another 2 kills for Stray Wolves.
Yeah, this is just not. There you go, playing for objective bounties, but again, this is just not the game for them, because if you look at that, as I was just talking about pick potential, Zeri got stunned like 3 times in one full go. Impale into the root, into the Skarner stun, into the Renekton stun. This is just not easy for them to live right now, right? There's no way this early mid game gets any better for them, especially with this kind of team comp that just powers up later into the game.
Switch going in onto the Renekton, dominance now, but the CC chain is coming through. Renekton trying to go for the stun here. He manages to get the stun, Blade of the Rune King as well, and manages to get the solo kill onto the Vex.
Yeah, no, this is not the time where Watchdogs is activated. Stray Wolves is this is Stray Wolves game right now, right? So just insane pick potential.
Dragon's coming through, trying to go for the Lulu, still comes through. Root comes through from the Jhin. The wild growth being popped here, trying to get this Lulu getting put down so low, and the E comes through from the Shyvana, the care to finish off the kill. And that is another huge pick. Pick after pick onto these members of Watchdogs. Stray Wolves just are running over this entire map.
Yeah, Shyvana also has 6 stacks of her Dark Seal right now. It is. I've never seen anyone buy that item on Shyvana.
Ooh, we do have and immediately popping the Zyra as Shyvana is around. Hecarim is trying to look for the kill onto the Jhin here. Jhin having to flash away, putting away the Sion, but look at this. Hecarim continue to chase the Jhin. Skarner is now around, however, and the stun comes through. We'll look for the Impale. No, the Hecarim has around an Impale going through. W goes a little bit wide there, but Renekton is around. Renekton securing the kill. As that happens, though, Zeri and Sion managed to get the shutdown onto the Shyvana, so that at least helps Watchdogs a bit.
Yeah, 2 big shutdowns there going to the hands of the Sion, so it's going to be an extra beefy boy. That's what they need for the Zeri to pop off, is someone at the front line that can tank that damage and not allow them to go into the Zeri. But again, what was insane there is just, the whole time, Hecarim was actually exhausted there, but still looked like he was walking in a normal speed. It looked so funny. I was like, isn't that exhausted Hecarim? But again, it didn't matter in the end. They have that insane lockdown potential, right? No, Zeri W.
Getting W'd immediately and just taken down in one whole combo. Teleports now coming in from Vex. Vex is here. Knockup does not come through. Gets that Everfrost. Shyvana jumping in straight with the Dragon's Ascent. Unstoppable Onslaught coming in as well. And now we have Onslaught of Shadows. Vex going in with the Shadow Surge. Renekton living the backline. Ignite taking down onto the Vex. Vex is going to get taken out here. But as that happens, Renekton gets taken out as well. Jhin trying to get the Sion, as well as this Shyvana trying to get the Lulu. Shyvana manages to take out the Lulu. Sion trying to get away here, having a flash, but the shot comes in from the Jhin, and it's another kill, and 3 in the hands of Stray Wolves.
And Billow just completed that Prowler spell because they're knowing that I don't really need to damage these tanks. They don't do damage at all. It's like what I need to take care of is getting locked down on this area. Look at that.
Coming out to Zeri just getting pulled back, trying to use that Thunder Crash to get away, using the E, but it's not enough. Shyvana just going through so tanky. Hecarim trying to get back in, trying to get something in return, pushing the Shyvana under tower, getting that damage, but she will manage to escape with all that tankiness.
Yeah, this is absolutely just a show by Stray Wolves right now. And if you saw that 4th shot, that's a super beefed up Sion there that just got one-shotted by the 4th shot there. So absolutely insane here. Kev is trying to look for a pick here again through 3 levels down. I don't think this is a good fight for him.
Yeah, Shyvana
Okay.
did have ultimate as well. That was very, very risky there.
Look at that top 4. Just look at that top 4. It's all blue, and that's all that matters, right? And if you look at the mid lane, is the big difference here right now. Look at billow to teanivia. That is where the big difference here. Again, sure, you have the late game scaling by Watchdogs, but if this gold lead keeps up and there's no shutdowns coming through, it's just not gonna matter for this comp. It's just going to be super duper difficult, right? So as this team, as Watchdogs, you just want to play the side lanes for teanivia right now. Give teanivia gold, give teanivia levels. Don't try to force fights unless it's necessary, unless it's a sure man's numbers advantage. But if not, just put Human 100 over at the mid lane, catch these waves, and at the bot lane, just give some golden EXP over to this carry Hecarim that they're trying to have as well. So it's just going to be really difficult because right now the jungle is not even Hecarim's jungle anymore. It is Stray Wolves jungle. So this is just really tough for them. And as Watchdogs, you just have to
Critical comes through and kill as well onto the Zeri. Zeri had a flash away, but there we see Lulu getting taken out. No wild growth available here. They do try to go for this onslaught of shadows coming in, and they manage to take out the Zyra. Now Vex going in with the shadow surge, getting a multi-man fear. Zeri gets the huge shutdown onto Renekton, and another kill onto Jhin, and the 4th kill onto the Skarner. And now they're chasing after Shyvana, using that E to go through. Shadow surge does not connect, just out of range here. Hecarim chasing after with the ghost, trying to get the pushback here, but so much damage coming in from Shyvana. Shyvana trying to get the kill onto Hecarim. It's not enough. Zeri now trying to kite this, getting that damage on, but they realize it's too tanky, and they set their eyes on the Baron instead.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. You just let them engage on you and get too aggressive because you have a disengage tool with Lulu and Vex, right? So that's going to be very insane. You have the polymorph and everything like that, so you just don't get too over aggressive and big shutdowns here. Objective bound is also available. Shyvana not being able to do much here other than just clear the wave and have that lane pushed up. DisasterMonkey taking a little bit too much damage here, but yes, there you go. Objective bounty gold. Also, that kill gold onto the Baron goes over to the Zeri, so that's very, very huge for this team. And more items coming through, and QSS just completed by Zeri there, so that Impale is no longer going to be a big threat for the Zeri, but actually huge by this team.
Shyvana going for Dragon's Descent though. Hecarim will not be able to get, manages to get away in time, does have that smite. No one else is here to chase after this in that movement speed. Popping everything, just making sure that he could get out safely there.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, whoa.
He coming through, using the Prowler spell going in. Fear coming through from the Vex, CCing him down, and damage came through, but Jhin is here to clean up the kill onto the Zeri. It's so far a 1-for-1 mid laner for an 80 carry here. There is Baron empowered minions on the side of Watchdogs, but great pick coming in from Zyra. They're looking for this W, comes through. Wild growth as well, but the Impale used onto Lulu. Lulu's going to fall here. On the backline, however, and we do see the stun come through before the Q completes. Zyra is going to live for just a second longer, manages to get that last auto, but he is getting taken down. Not enough damage though. Vex getting some damage here, and here we see Hecarim trying to peel a little bit here. Shyvana trying to build up that rage meter. She wants to get another Dragon's Descent going into this fight. We do have the Vex trying to kite out here. They're looking for this Vex because they know the Vex does damage, but Shyvana has that ultimate available. Can look to engage here. Will use that instead to disengage. They take the tower and leave it at that.
A Dragon Ocean Soul would be so huge for Stray Wolves here because that sieging potential that they have, they're so ahead in this game that they're constantly going to want to siege, and that's going to be very important, right? Look at that soul. And I mean, right now, what you really need to pay attention to is Zeri. I mean, sure, Zeri got the pick there, but that was actually a big misplay by the Zeri. They're not needing to. I guess that auto attack got her by surprise. That Q got auto surprised too by the Zeri, popping over the wall and having to actually jump out. So big that they got a kill on Renekton here, but there's a slight dip in gold there that's really, really important. That's the thing, is this Zeri is just going to get stronger. And so as Stray Wolves, you're going to want to end this soon because once Aya just completed, mind you...
They are looking for Lulu here. Hex Flash is available onto this corner. Might look for something here. Oh, they are still going for this. Ghost using Shirelia's there to try to get away. So movement speed for movement speed, but look at this corner's move speed, just absolutely insane.
And look at the engage here.
Going in unstoppable onslaught.
Zeri has QSS, we have to remember that. So
yeah, QSS is going to be huge for the next fight, right? So that's going to be very important here. One of the Onslaught brothers already used their ults here, so the Onslaught twins are not going to be a big thing here now. So I mean, it's still going to be huge. The Onslaught Shadow, the big.
Has a good flank here. Is spread out by the ward. Will we see an engage come in? This is an Ocean Soul. They don't really want to give this up. They are looking to contest the Zeri, getting some poke with her W, but here we see there is a little Zegion outside of vision, making sure that he's not spotted, and it looks like he's going to go for a really good impale here. They do manage to go in, and Shyvana going into the backline as well, but Zyra popped instantly, and Zeri now kiting out the Shyvana as this is happening. So much fear coming in from the Vex, but Vex gets taken down by the Renekton as that happens. Jhin down to the Hecarim, and here we have Zeri just doing so much damage for free. Renekton running away from the fight here. They're trying to get another kill here. Skarner goes down, trying to get onto the Shyvana, but Shyvana has to run away. Great slow from the Sion, and that is 4 kills and almost an ace for Watchdogs. Huge turn.
There you go. It's starting. It is starting to look a little bit too scary for Stray Wolves. They're still like a little bit winning these fights, but then now there's no DPS for them other than KAIRU. But once KAIRU is gone, there's really not much that they can do. Sure, they're still winning the map in terms of pressure, but if this Zeri keeps just ramping up, this is not going to be a good look for Stray Wolves, because team fights now, I mean, Stray Wolves understand it now, right? Watchdogs understand it now, right? They don't need to engage. If they get engaged on, they can counter-engage or just pop one member. And in that fight, they popped Talius first, because that they know was the DPS, was the person that was melting these tanks. Because this Sion sure has Fawn, has Force of Nature and everything like that, but it's still definitely gonna get melted out by that burn. And Jhin already with the Lord Dominic's regard here, actually even delaying the possibility of eye-edge here because of that dagger purchase here. But I don't know, that should be eye-edge. But again, this Zeri is just getting stronger and stronger. This Lulu Zeri is starting to go online, and if this game does go any later, once eye-edge or LDR and eye-edge is complete for the Zeri, the fights are just gonna keep looking like that in that dragon fight, because they just don't have that much damage, and they have the ability to get onto the Zeri, but with that QSS, that kind of got eliminated super quick. And if Lulu builds Mikhail's too, that's just an even harder time to pick the Zeri.
Yeah, and Lulu, I believe Lulu is building towards it. We do see a null magic mantle in her inventory, as well as, yeah, it's just dipping with each of these fights. Granted, it does, kind of climb back up, and that's the nature of them having so much control over the map. They can just take away more resources from Watchdogs because of that early advantage that they got. But each of these fights is a significant dip in the, in the sizable advantage that they've grown over the course of the game.
What's important was they also did slow down the dragon take there. But yes, Fishloop, go ahead. What were you about to say?
Dude, right now, the Sion is way too tanky.
Yeah,
like he is just standing there and taking 5-man to the face and just going to half health. I don't know how they're going to deal with this. And this is Jhin already with Lord Dominic's regard, which is absolutely crazy. And what is very questionable right now is that this Shyvana just bought Medjai's when she only had 2 stacks, or did she?
That is true. I mean, I guess the mythic passive, I guess, right? It's a
completed legendary item.
A completed legendary item for the mythic passive. But yeah, I guess they were super ahead in the early game. They thought that was just gonna keep going, so I guess no fault there. Cheap item too to buy, but just not worth it in terms of gold right now. But eventually, when we do see the stacks ramp up, that item is gonna be a super big investment for them. But Tushak Pack is still the member that is ahead in gold right now. But Human at 100 is ahead of KAIRU right now. And slowly, well, remember, that was once a top 4 takeover. Kev has more gold than Zegion now, and KAIRU and Billow is not far TDisasterMonkey and DisasterMonkey and Kev as well. Look at this bot lane, just
look at this slugfest.
No one was gonna die. Sure, that pack was taking a lot of damage, but we knew no one was gonna die there. I don't know why we looked there, but again, look at that. Look, Shyvana's just regenning up with Warmogs and Ocean Soul. Look at that, full HP already. And right now, what's important is, yes, that recall is going to be huge, because this does allow there you go, the demonic embrace purchase for Tushak Pack, and walk straight into this Baron pit, so without having to expend that TP anymore and be there for the team immediately. Meanwhile, they can try to force something out here, but LDR completed for Human 100 in this fight. This Shyvana and Skarner is no longer going to be all that beefy in front of this Human of this Zeri, who's going to, if keeps getting free damage in fights, is gonna pop off. They start the Baron now.
Yeah, Baron Dance is, has begun. Pink Wards are there, so they are spotted out by Vision. They decide to back off. They don't want to take this fight. Great adaptation from that last Dragon fight, understanding that they can't really go for a 5v5 team fight, because right now, they can't guarantee that it will go in their favor. So, you know, I was kind of baited there because I thought a fight was going to break out. But yes, a minute before this, they do want this soul. So we will see the team set up vision. Obviously, Stray Wolves have the first step. They have multiple parts of Watchdog's base taken down all the way, you know, to tier 2 tower, tier 3 even.
Ooh, IE.
Yes, that is a big, big purchase here. So this is going to become scary. You know, once that is completed for Jhin, that's going to become a menace.
Yep, IE completed there, and also Bramble's Vest for DisasterMonkey. That healing reduction for this Ocean Sold up team is going to be huge. There's no healing reduction just yet onto the side of Stray Wolves, so that one stack Ocean Soul will be actually very, very huge for this team as well. First step right here is Watchdogs. They are gonna be spotted in vision by that bush right there. Yes, they do spot it there, but they do have first step, and both top laners are at the top side. But what's important here is if you pay attention to the levels, yes, he just hit it, but Shyvana is level 16, two-shot, and so is Sion. Those ultimates are gonna hurt. And in terms of the mid laners, both are still level 15, not a level 2 ultimate just yet. But AD carry, Jhin is stronger by a level. This is going to be very huge. So what we really need to pay attention to right now is who gets popped first. Is it going to be...
is walking down. So
Yeah.
this Watchdogs might want to make this very aggressive. They know that Shyvana is top, so she'll have to teleport to join into this fight. And yes, they begin the dance. They are clearing out vision here. Looks like they want to get this started. Vex does start it up. Sai walking back up, so it looks like he'll just match the teleports if it comes through. And here we see them starting this. We do see Sion teleporting in right away, making sure that he's right in the way. It does not get cancelled. We see the Vex Shadow Surge. It goes wide there, so it doesn't catch onto the backline here. But Skarner trying to go in, but the fear coming in from the Vex as well. And the Hecarim popping the... they're just popping multiple members. Skarner popped so instantaneously there. Zeri getting a little bit ambitious and goes right in but gets popped. And now Renekton doing so much damage. Lulu pops as well. And now Hecarim has fallen. Sion trying to kite for this Vex, but it's not going to be enough. Shyvana and Jhin are both alive here. Double knockup coming through. Trying to go for the Jhin now, but Renekton is hunting this Vex. And here we see the Sion will fall to the Jhin. And Renekton now chasing after this Vex. Vex will not live here most likely, but we will have to see. Renekton chasing after this Vex. Does have the fear available. Call the Meek does not connect. We do see multiple members. Oh, Everfrost now used, trying to get some space, but we will see other members go down here. Great fear to stop the E charge from the Renekton going in. Dominus is not available. No flash as well. And he's just gonna run after him, but the E will come up soon enough. Yes, manages to get that Zanya's to stop the W from coming through, but now we see Shyvana around as well. No fear is gonna come through, and the kill goes to the Shyvana.
The Zeri just got a little bit too aggressive there again, and just going for the Jhin instead of fighting with the team. The tank there gets one shot. Remember, this is an eye-edged Lord Dominic's Zeri. I mean, Jhin. It's not one-shotting your tank. It doesn't look strong, but that's still a really strong Jhin, and especially in this late game. They have the jungler here though. Kev is stronger by one level, but remember, this is like both their smite are now at 900, right? So there's no difference in levels. So it's going to be important. Look at the Shyvana
going into the backline. Renekton is here as well. Pops to Dominus. This is happening. Baron is being taken here, but Shyvana's getting low. Zeri is getting a lot of damage here. Shyvana now falls. We are turning our attention onto Renekton. Renekton tries to dive the Zeri, but Zeri manages to escape. Shut down going over into Zeri's pockets. They look for disengage here, but they manage to get away with the Baron. So at least Stray Wolves walk away with something.
Yeah, but they do walk away with 3 members with Baron here, but they're just walking it straight down into this mid lane, trying to get this mid lane turret down. This is going to be huge because objective bounties are still up. It is still a 5k gold difference. Jhin curtain call is up.
Up here, they are looking to disengage, and it snipes the Lulu in the backline. Sion getting put so low here. Teleport coming in from the Vex. They could look for a re-engage here. Zeri getting some damage on the back, and Pale goes onto the Hecarim. Hecarim trying to get away here. Shadow Surge going in, getting that double fear, and Zeri getting some damage as well. Zyra getting brought low, having to flash away here. The Skarner, but Zeri is on the Skarner. Jhin getting 2 kills, however. Stun comes through, but Zeri gets the kill onto the Skarner. Jhin is still alive. Zyra is still alive, trying to get that W, but it does not come through. And the Baron is enough. That is 3 for 3 between Watchdogs and Stray Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, right now, KAIRU is playing out of his mind. That's the big thing, as I said, right? Playing as Jhin, what's important is your positioning. And right now, playing as Jhin just makes you want to position better. Is absolutely insane with these builds. That item right there is very interesting. I've not seen that. It should turn into a either death stance. I think on Jhin. I think that Caulfield Warhammer there turned into either a death stance, or, you know, I've not seen Yumu's in a while, but Yumu's is still definitely a possibility. But yeah, I think that most likely will turn into a death stance.
Unstacked more mana.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, or it
Yeah.
could also be like Maul for some reason if they.
Or Maul,
Yeah.
yeah, Maul for the yeah, there right there, the Maul too. But interesting, you buy the Warfield Callhammer instead of the
Caulfield's Warhammer.
Warfield
but I
Warhammer
think-
instead of the Hex Drinker. But again, it's still a good
I mean,
item.
he wants
Jhin
the AD.
needs to-
I have
yeah,
a feeling
Jhin
he wants
needs
the
to
AD
be
because
I honestly think it's gonna be a Youmu's. To
yeah,
get, like,
Yomu. That's what I'm
to
thinking
get that
too.
information.
Yeah, we haven't seen it in a while, but again, Youmu's is still gonna be a big item here for the Jhin. They have Baroned up on 2 minions. I mean two champions here. The most important Drake coming up soon. It doesn't matter if you have Ocean, but if you get this, you pretty much win the game. That is that Elder Dragon, right? So it's gonna be important.
Shyvana
Look,
has
Shack
ultimate.
Pack.
Oh, Zeri gets caught out here. Curtain call coming through. Used a little bit early here, getting onto the Hecarim, and now Shyvana going into the Dragon's Descent. Great slow coming in. Shirelli popped defensively there, and that is huge. But that is 2 ultimates down for Stray Wolves. They are looking to take more towers here. Mid inhibitor is gone, looking to take down this tier 3 top tower, going for this tier 3 inhibitor as well. And this looks to be the final team fight. It looks like they're not going to wait for either of these big objectives. Sion trying to go in there. And Subboss also, the pull onto the Vex. Vex does manage to get the fear though. Zeri getting some damage onto the backline here. Wild Growth used as well. And now all members are turned onto the Hecarim, but the Zeri is doing a little bit. Yeah, Zeri is just popping off there, but we do see the Hecarim going down. Great knockout from the Sion, and now we see Shyvana falling. Will Zeri continue to chase this? Yes, they will continue to chase this. Great fear coming in, double kill now for the Zeri. Zeri looking for the 3rd. Yes, the 3rd comes through. Renekton is in this push, but they know, and they get the 4th. For Zeri, is this going to be the Penta? Zeri is looking for the angle, does have the movement speed, but Jhin is pretty healthy. Jhin has everything, including flash. They could look for this. Looks like he thought he was in the bush, and it's not enough, but that is still a quadra for Watchdogs for that base defense.
There you go. There you go. You're just starting to see it. This is exactly how they should have fought that dragon. Where they did lose is play with the tanks, right? Play front to back. You don't suddenly just go all up on that Jhin because that Jhin is still extremely scary. But right now, this does allow them to live even longer. This means that the next objective is going to be very important. This dragon is going to be huge, but the now the gold lead is still at that stable 4k gold difference. And right now, in terms of the AD carries, I mean, both of them are maxed out. This Mercurial Scimitar is just completed for the Zeri, so full build now for this team fight. And I think Jhin will most likely also be full build by this next team fight. So what's huge there actually was teanivia getting dragged in, and then the Fear, and then Zhonya's, right? So that was absolutely insane there. So a big, counter engage there by that team. And in the end, this Sion has become a problem for this Stray Wolves squad. No one can really melt that down. Human 100 is now up 1k gold on this AD carry. So we're seeing it, the Lulu Zeri carry. It's here, it's now, and it's activated. It's going to be the most important fight for this team. But, ooh, look at that gold lead, but it's slow, a slight dip there. You can see that slight dip over at the top there. But again, we really need to pay attention to this fight right now. There you go, death stance completed for KAIRU. No more one shots for this.
It was a death stance. Okay.
Yeah, for this AD carry. So it's going to be huge. And also 2 Shack Pack. Zhonya's completed. This is huge. All items completed by the carries. All items are here. Last fight to decide it all. 7 seconds until this Elder Dragon spawns. This is going to dictate this match. TP over at the top side for Sion, but they do have numbers advantage here. They're just starting it already, it seems.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go straight for this. They are spotted out on that, but Dragon's Descent used right away by the Shyvana. It looks like they want to melt this as soon as possible. Teleport coming in from the Sion. Sion is going to come in from the bot lane here. They are looking to go for an angle. Sion using unsolvable onslaught from the bottom there, but we do see the disruption coming through. Hecarim trying to get onto the back line here. They are looking for the Jhin. The Jhin is getting a lot of damage in, manages to pop the Hecarim, but as that's happening, Zeri getting caught out here, trying to flash away, but it's not enough. Getting stunned, locked down here, and 2 kills, 3 kills, going down, flashing forward for the Vex. That's the 4th, and this is going to be the ace for Stray Wolves. You know, it was a close game, but in the end, they pull out the victory.
Yeah, I mean, that again, they played 2 separately. Again, they focused down the Jhin. Sure, that would have been huge if they got the pick, but the thing is, they don't have all that much damage. Their main damage is that Zeri, who just got locked down by these 2 big carries, 2 Shack Pack, Zegion, and I mean Skarner and Billow as well, just all up straight for this Zeri. Sure, you have a Mercurial Scimitar, but that's not gonna matter. They take this 40-minute victory, and they're showing now they have a 2-0 lead here, and this is going to be very, very huge for Stray Wolves as they take a commanding 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series.